I'm a Georgia voter sticker.
Okay.
You're not exercising after your rights. You don't
After
want
school. After school.
Can't seniors check themselves out?
Okay.
I'm about to go do that.
So here we go. Today we are doing the last section in the logarithm unit. This is 5.5. This is how do we differentiate logs and exponentials when the bases are not e. Okay? So we're talking about log base 5 of x, log base 12 of x, 8 to the x, 3 to the x, right? Bases other than e. Today is other bases. Okay, before we get started in the derivatives, just a couple quick little reminders. First, y equals a to the x implies that the log base a of y equals x. Right? We've been doing this back and forth between exponential and logarithmic form with e's. Now we're doing it with a's. So when you have a to the x equals y, that means the log base a of y is x. Make a circle. A to the x equals y. Right? Okay. Let's see. Now, a to the x and log base a of x are natural inverse functions, right? E to the x and ln x are inverses. 5 to the x and log base 5 of x are inverses, right? They are inverse functions. Because they are inverse functions, properties of inverses still apply. So a to the log base a of x equals what?
X.
X, very good. And log base a of a to the x equals?
X.
Hey,
X.
that was my next guess.
That's good. There's one more little property or formula called the change of base formula for logs. And what it says is if you want to change the base that a log is written in, if we have log base a of x, we can actually change the base to any base we want. We're going to use natural log base e. Oh, whoops. But you could do any base. So if I have log base a of x, the argument stays at the top with the top log and the base goes to the bottom. Base, bottom, bottom base. So log base a of x equals ln x over ln a. It also equals log base 26 of x over log base 26 of a. You can change it to any base you want. We changed to base e because that's what we already know, right? Okay. All right, so anyway, very quickly before we do any calculus, just a quick review of how to solve equations. Now, for some of these, if I give you an equation like 3 to the x equals 1 over 81, it's not really that helpful to write this in logarithmic form. That would be normally how we do it, is we'd either take the log base 3 of both sides, right? Or just write in log form, which is the same thing. Either way, you're still going to have to sit there and figure out by hand what exponent do you have to raise 3 to get 1 over 81. So I want everyone to take a minute in your groups and see if you can figure out what exponent do you have to raise 3 to get 1 over 81.
Isn't it to the 1/4? Negative 4. Oh, negative 4, I meant.
Which one, are you sure?
Negative 4. Negative 4. Or it's to the 1/4. Negative 4, I'm pretty sure. Negative 4. It's definitely negative. It goes in the price.
What would the 1/4 power give you?
Ooh.
Yeah, it would give you the 4th root of 3, right? Right? So x has to equal negative 4. The reason is because 3 to the 4th is 81, right? So 3 to the negative 4th is 1 over 81. That negative exponent means take their circle. Okay. Now, if you are given a logarithmic one, then you definitely do want to write it in exponential form. So if I say, hey, log base 2 of x equals negative 4, easiest way to solve this is to write in exponential form. Take a moment, write it in exponential form, see if you can solve.
Is your battery low?
Yep. plug it in before it.
Are you sure about that? I don't think it's so. What's 4 tonight? What's 4? What's 2 times? 4 times 6. What's 4? What's 4 times 2? Alright, hey, you know that people don't really like a know-it-all? Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob. I'm not sure.
Jacob, why you gotta be betting on the stuff that failed?
I didn't bet on that.
Okay, how do we write this in exponential form?
2
to the negative 4 equals x.
Why do you have to be so
2 to the negative 4 equals x, right? Make a circle. Base to this exponent equals the argument, right? 2 to the negative 4 equals x. What is 2 to the negative 4? 1 over 16. Okay, does everyone understand that? Good, alright. Because there's going to be a few little pre-calc problems before you get into calculus tonight. Now, there are 4 derivative formulas I want you to write down. They're written right over here. Whoop. Let's plug this in.
Because he doesn't know.
How much PT did you get last year?
What does it even mean?
Alright, so I want you guys to write all 4 of these down. We're going to talk about them for a minute. 2 of them are review, and 2 of them are new.
She's not on the same.
But it's helpful to have all 4 grouped together for a couple of reasons.
I started school yesterday. Are we writing down 4 rules?
Yes, the 4 derivative formulas, yes.
She said that like an hour ago and stuff. Maybe you should pay attention. What was that?
I'm gonna start taking notes on the horizontal plane because like you mix the board. I think it'll just be my
You know, that does actually make sense.
To do what? Oh,
That they should have notebooks this way, because the board is linked this way.
maybe we should put the
and
board
then
the other
you
way,
would,
and then we should just get
you
you
know,
stilts.
do more in the format of
The drama department has stilts you could borrow.
oh, make the board vertical?
Yeah. You could get those kangaroo legs that have like springs in them, and you could like just be doing tricks. Did you know that kangaroos actually box in real life? It's not just in that movie, Kangaroo Jack. They actually do box in real life. And it's like, it's vicious. Did you know that like it's something like 90% of koalas have syphilis? Did you realize that? 90% of koalas have syphilis. That means if you're a koala and you're on the dating scene, you have to be really careful. They also spend like 19 hours asleep every day, so you know, there's not a lot of time in the dating scene, but when it happens, it's dangerous.
All right. Does everyone have these written down? Okay, what I want you to notice first.
Fun facts. We're talking about.
All right. The derivative of natural log and the derivative of log base A are almost identical. What's the only difference between the two?
LNA.
Yeah, you're just, this one you're dividing by an LNA. And the reason you're doing that is to convert the log to a natural log. Because if you guys remember, 5 minutes ago, we wrote that log base A of x equals ln x over ln A, right? So to go from here to here, you could just treat it as a natural log by dividing by ln A, right? So it's the same kind of thing. If you just divide the ln A, the natural log of the base out, you're left with just a natural log, right? So it's almost the exact same formula. As a matter of fact, well, we'll get to that in a second. And then a to the u is just like e to the u, except you have to multiply by ln A, again, to change the base. So, and technically the only formulas you need are this one and this one. Because when you're dealing with log base e, or e to the u, these are just specific cases of these formulas, right? If I used this formula and I plugged in an e for my base, where I'd log base e of u, I'd get u prime over u ln e. What is ln e? 1, right? So So just back to here.
Wait.
If I,
Let's go ahead.
if I plug in, if I do e to the u, I get e to the u prime ln e, and ln e is of course 1, right? So this is just a special specific case of this one, and this is just a specific case of this one. But most people like to memorize all 4. Okay. So anyway, so there's that. Alright, so did you have a question?
So I just wanted to like clear out something, like number 4,
Uh-huh.
when the exponent is on like a variable, then
Right.
you would have to do that. When the exponent is like a regular, like if it was 3, then you just
Then it'd just be
pound-
0.
Okay.
Right?
So
Because
what's
the base has to be numeric. This a is a constant. It
Okay.
has to be numeric.
So it can't be a variable. so
No,
it's a-
no, this isn't an x. This is where your variable is, otherwise it's not an exponential
So it's
function.
how it's similar, like
Okay, let me
how it-
just clarify between y equals x squared and y equals 2 to the x, right? This is a polynomial. This is considered a function where you just do power rule and the derivative would just be 2x, right?
okay.
This is an exponential. The variable is in the exponent. That's when you have to use your exponential
Okay.
derivative rule. Okay? So yeah, you can't just do x times 2 to the x minus 1, that won't work. The only time the power rule works is when your power is a constant, right? Your exponent is a constant.
Okay.
Alright. Good. Alright, so let's do some examples.
Score. I'm almost running out of
Alright, so suppose y equals the log base 7 of, so how about, let's make it fun. The square root of x plus 5 over 2x cubed minus 6. Alright, so we're going to do this derivative. Back this out.
Oh, we should change it.
But remember, this is a logarithm, right? You never, ever, ever do a derivative with a logarithm using quotient rule. Or you should never do a derivative of a radical, right, when you have a log.
Wait, wasn't this on the,
What should we do first?
it was on the.
Alright, let's expand it.
Let's expand it, right? Everyone take a minute and expand the logarithm.
So log 7 square root x plus 5 minus sac. We can do this. Talk out of it if I want to.
Actually, it's minus.
That's what I said.
No, it's not. Oh, don't forget the parentheses, which take off like super amount of points.
I took off 1 point for the whole
Do you know how?
quiz
Do you
for bad
realize how many
parentheses.
points 1 point is? That's the
four-
difference
that's
between
4%.
Yeah, that's 4%. That's the difference between a 4 and a 5. On the AP exam, it could be 4 points.
It could.
So you could
Even 1 point could be the difference between
you
4
could
and a 5.
essentially be ruining a person's college career.
By taking off a point on the quiz?
Yep. Yeah.
Actually, by taking off a point on your quiz will remind you that, oh, I better make sure I put parentheses so
What
I
if I
don't
get
do
an-
that again. So you don't do it on the AP exam, so you do get a better grade.
But what if I get it? What if I get an 89 in this class because of that, and then I'm not accepted into Harvard? Because they only
I will
accept
tell you
4.0.
I
something.
thought you were going to Alaska.
If you get an 89 in this class because of a 1 point difference out of all
It'd be
the
4
total
points, wouldn't it? Oh no, yeah,
No,
it'd be
it's
1
1 point. We're total points here, not percentages,
Yeah.
right? I will discuss the possibility of you earning that point.
It's on camera.
Okay?
You got
And
it.
it's, yeah, you've got it saved right there.
Score.
Alright, so
Harvard
here we
days are
go.
secure.
1/2 log base 7 of parenthesis quantity x plus 5 minus log base 7 of quantity 2x cubed minus 6. Did everyone expand it okay?
Yes.
Okay. When you do your derivative, right, this is just a coefficient, just gets multiplied by the answer. It's just like a natural log. You put the argument on the bottom, you put its derivative on the top. The only thing that's new is you have to multiply, in this case, the bottom by ln of what?
A.
Which is
7.
7. Alright? Same thing for this term. You put the argument on the bottom, you put its derivative on the top, and then you have to put on the bottom also an ln7. So it's exactly like doing a natural log derivative. The only difference is you have to include ln a on the bottom.
And then we're done.
Then you're done.
Alright, good.
Right? Okay, very quickly, because I want to move on to the other stuff, we'll do one quick example of an a to the x. How about 5 to the 7x squared plus 3? Everyone take a second, see if you can figure it out.
I can't figure it out.
Yes, you can.
Took my second.
Mustafa, you can do anything you set your mind to. I believe in you. These?
Alright, so,
Why do you have to rush us so much?
because I want to get to the practice quiz.
Practice quiz.
Alright,
Not even-
a to the u stays the same, times the derivative of the argument, times ln of 5. Okay?
Score.
Alright, so it's just like e to the x, except you have to multiply by the natural log of the base. Alright? Okay, on the board are 4 quick practice problems. Your quiz tomorrow consists of, surprise, surprise, 4 problems.
Say what?
What?
How many points is this quiz?
20 points, 5 points each.
Small.
Small quiz.
So it's like 5 points smaller than that past quiz.
There we go. Yes, it is 5 points smaller than the past quiz. Okay, so, there. Okay, so there are 4 problems on the board, very similar in difficulty and nature to the 4 problems on your quiz tomorrow. All I want you to do is write them down and find y prime.
Wow, I could have used a calculator.
Is this for bonus points?
No, this is just for you to learn and practice.
Well.
Well, man.
Yes,
This is just, there must be, yeah, this might be a stupid question, but are there 4 formulas?
No such thing as a stupid
Like
person,
this.
just a
Yes.
stupid person.
yes.
Actually, that's not
There
true.
is one of each type. Tomorrow's quiz, there's a natural log, there's an e to the x, there's a log base a of x, and there's an a to the x in some order. Those are your 4 problems. There's not even words apart from like differentiate and name, right? And date. I don't even
Period.
think date is on there.
What?
Say what?
Yep.
Oh, that's,
Is it a full
Sheet of paper. Because you're never gonna
It
pick
is
one.
a full sheet, but it is just one side. But you know what? What you're telling me is actually not a bad idea in the future for when I only have to do one side, to split it, make it 2-sided, and then give everyone a half sheet, save some paper. That's a good idea.
Oh, we got a
Because, you know, I'm a
Yeah.
taxpayer now, so I care about that stuff.
Yep.
So
Are you really, Mustafa?
So, were you just talking about how you quit your job?
Yeah.
You were texting.
You didn't quit your job, you got fired.
Alright, for sake of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and write the answers on here.
Whoa, don't! Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
Alright, you can close your eyes. Now for this problem, I'm not writing the answer yet because of course the first thing I would do is expand the log, right? Oh, thank you. Okay, so log prime equals. Oh, I don't even need a parenthesis. Oh, I'm writing parentheses, but they're not necessary.
I have 4 dots of pancake batter on my sleeve.
It is.
I didn't make pancakes this morning, that's.
Okay. There's the first one. I'm gonna do the second one in red.
You're right, I got it.
Wait, Mustafa, you
Yeah,
gotta
you just
gotta
have
take
to
it.
go.
No,
to do it.
no, Jacob's too much of a Jacob's too much of a pacifist. You gotta have it. No, you're not. Come on. Come on.
Okay. Third one's gonna be in
Why is that? You
blue.
can just slap it.
Can we do? Come on, just accept that.
So first thing you wanna do, of course, is put that 1/3 in front of the log.
Oh, smart person.
Yeah, never ever, if you can possibly avoid it, never take a derivative of a log of a radical,
So
right?
the video has it on record.
Okay,
Hey, Hannah.
I like the color coding that you're doing.
thank you.
What's the next color though? You're kind of running out.
I know I am, I'm completely run.
You should
Do
You
you have like
should
purplish pink
basically-
or something like that? Or do you have like black?
You should hold 2 markers in your hand at once and write. Oh no, you have a purple pink thing.
I have a pink one.
You should just do pink?
No, that's red.
It's red.
It's reddish pink. It could just be, that's just lightish red.
Oh, that's good because that means we have nothing on Friday.
What?
We have a review day. That's not nothing.
I mean, nothing is for a grade on Friday.
That is true. All right, make sure everything's in. Oops. Yep, it's all in. Okay, so. All right, I walked through these very quickly, but that's because the bell's gonna ring. Are there questions? Do y'all kind of get the basics?
I'm gonna go vote.
Okay.
Who are you voting for?
I don't care.